blueprints for an aircraft carrier while only having a blacksmith's forge. Such an endeavor was utterly impossible. Sitting at the table, Jiang Li toyed with an empty juice bottle, her gaze steady. An opportunity had arisen. Her expansive workshop, albeit currently lacking electrical power and thus unable to facilitate large-scale automated production, is equipped with foundational apparatuses classified as advanced workbenches by the system. Whether it be a forging station, a tailoring table, or a precision machining platform, as long as she possesses the blueprints and materials, she can create. Moreover, the quality of her equipment may even yield additional attribute enhancements due to its superior craftsmanship. Without hesitation, Jiang Li dispatched a message in the channel, spicy chicken leg burger, offering equipment processing services, whether it's weapons, armor, or special items. As long as you have the blueprints and materials, I can craft them. The service fee will depend on the complexity of the equipment, generally charging 20 of the material costs as compensation. Interested parties may contact me privately. Upon sending this message, the previously bustling channel fell into a momentary silence, soon to be inundated with waves of skepticism. Processing. Is this for real? Everyone is stuck at the workbench level. What gives you the right to craft? Indeed, while spicy chicken leg burger is formidable, this seems a bit far-fetched. Has your workbench reached level 3? It's not entirely impossible. After all, isn't chicken leg burger the first level 3 camp? Is processing still a viable gameplay option? Upon reflection, it does seem plausible. In an instant, the channel buzzed with discussions. Jiang Li remained unfazed, uninterested in providing explanations. After all, the event was imminent, and there would inevitably be those unable to resist the temptation. I suspect they are trying to swindle blueprints. Once the blueprints are handed over, if they fail to deliver or simply consume the blueprints, we would have no recourse. At that moment, an exceedingly glaring idea emerged. Invincible Warlord. Haha, this is hilarious. The fox's tail has been revealed. What processing? I see it as an attempt to swindle. Everyone, don't trust her. This woman clearly harbors deep schemes. I suspected something was amiss when she sold that spear. Who knows where she picked up those trash blueprints? Now she dares to deceive everyone with rare blueprints. If you hand your blueprints to her, it's like throwing meat buns to dogs. Seizing this opportunity, Invincible Warlord began to fervently sway the sentiment of the crowd. Fueled by his rhetoric, players who were once intrigued began to waver. Indeed, blueprints are exceedingly precious. Being deceived would leave them in tears. Perhaps it's wiser to play it safe. Worst case, we can endure with ordinary weapons. Jiang Li observed the scornful mockery on her screen without anger, merely letting out a faint, cold chuckle. Believe it or not, the opportunity has been presented. Those truly resolute will undoubtedly be willing to take the risk. Just as Jiang Li prepared to exit the chat channel to contemplate how to plant the seeds she had recently acquired, the private message icon suddenly lit up. Surprised, she clicked to open it. The avatar was unfamiliar, yet the ID elicited a sense of astonishment. Pineapple Beer, the enigmatic figure who, since the server's inception, had remained silent while consistently dominating the monster kill leaderboard. The dialog box contained only 2 exceptionally succinct images and a single inquiry. Image, blueprint for the Night Hunter crossbow, superior. Image, blueprint for the Gale leather boots, superior. Can you craft these? I have the materials. Without any pleasantries or inquiries, Jiang Li raised her eyebrow. It was her first encounter with someone so straightforward. Ordinarily, one would at least ask a question for confirmation. Furthermore, the 2 blueprints were of superior quality. Night Hunter crossbow, a refined grade ranged weapon, not only boasting high attack power, but also featuring a silencing effect, an absolute tool for assassination. Single use, Gale boots, enhances movement speed and provides a light-footed effect, perfect for both fleeing and pursuit. Single use, very well, Jiang Li replied succinctly. You provide the materials, and I will require an additional 20 units of crafting supplies. The response came almost instantaneously. Pineapple Beer requests to trade with you. Jiang Li clicked to confirm. In the trading interface, 2 blueprints were neatly arranged alongside all the required materials. 6 units of refined steel, 6 units of high-tensile beast sinew, and 6 units of hardened leather. These were far more precious than ordinary materials. Without further ado, Jiang Li made her way into the workshop. Standing before the advanced precision crafting table, she placed the blueprints upon it and opened the crafting interface. Crafting. A flash of white light illuminated the space, accompanied by the soft whirring of machinery. Minutes later, a jet-black crossbow and a pair of exquisitely stitched, supple leather boots lay quietly on the table. Jiang Li glanced at their attributes. Night Hunter crossbow, refined green. Attributes, strength 4, special effect, silent hunt, near silence when shooting. Critical hit rate increased by 10. Affix, armor piercing, attack ignores 5 points of target's defense. Gale boots, refined green. Agility 3, special effect, swift movement, movement speed increased by 10. Fortune favored her. Jiang Li was somewhat surprised. The armor piercing affix was an extraordinary bonus. It appeared that her unfortunate title had not hindered her crafting prowess. Or perhaps the advanced workbench itself provided a boon. These 2 pieces of equipment were indeed impressive, though the blueprints were single use. Despite this, Jiang Li could not simply abscond with another's equipment. Maintaining credibility was crucial for her first commission. She could only hope that subsequent customers would provide blueprints that were reusable. Returning the equipment to the trading interface, she clicked confirm. The transaction was completed. Jiang Li anticipated that the other party would be astonished by the exceptional attributes, or at the very least, inquire about her methods, if not express gratitude. However, the dialog box remained silent. After approximately 2 minutes, a message suddenly appeared in the regional chat channel. Pineapple Beer. Image, Night Hunter crossbow, refined. Image, Gale boots, refined. Spicy chicken leg burger, a pleasant transaction. Accompanied by a transaction record, the two screenshots of the dazzlingly attributed equipment lit up the channel. In that instant, chaos ensued. What the hell? These attributes. A refined piece with affixes? Armor piercing? Ignoring defense? Is this truly something that can be crafted now? My stone axe is weeping. At 4 points of strength. My total power barely reaches 9. Is this truly the craftsmanship behind the spicy chicken leg burger? The esteemed pineapple beer has personally validated it. That's a top-tier deity. Even she sought the spicy chicken leg burger for her equipment. And what of that so-called invincible war god? Care to take a few steps out? Has your face swollen? Esteemed one, I was mistaken. I failed to recognize the greatness before me. I too wish to commission. I too desire it. I shall offer double the service fee. Observing the private messages explode in numbers, countless individuals who were previously hesitant or even derisive now frantically sought to add her as a friend. Jiangli found herself in a state of bemusement. The slap in the face came too swiftly. Jiangli did not rush to respond to those messages. Instead, she fixated on the dialogue box labeled, pineapple beer, lost in contemplation. Throughout the exchange, this individual had uttered but 2 phrases, one inquiring if the task could be accomplished, and the other expressing a pleasant transaction. Not a single inquiry as to how she could achieve it, no astonishment regarding the exceptional attributes, nor any attempt at fostering camaraderie. Even the final message sent to the public screen appeared as a mere casual gesture, entirely indifferent to others' opinions. A formidable character indeed, Jiangli mused. Such taciturnity, with a sole focus on strength and outcomes, often signifies the most formidable adversaries. Pineapple beer, Jiangli repeated, the name possessing a certain endearing quality. Yet a profound curiosity stirred within her. What manner of person could this be? One hopes they shall be an ally rather than a foe at tomorrow's event. Jiangli closed her private messages and turned her gaze toward the equipment within the workshop. Regardless of the circumstances, thanks to this esteemed individual, her business had flourished tremendously. For the next few hours, Jiangli transformed into a relentless crafting machine. The elven girl watched in awe, her eyes nearly popping from their sockets. Sifting through blueprints, collecting materials, crafting equipment, and delivering finished products. One after another, exquisite items shimmering with green light flowed from her hands, yielding a bounty of rare resources in return. Acquired, Iron X10, acquired, Steel X2, acquired, Magnet X5, acquired, High Tensile Beast Tendon X2, acquired, Hardened Leather X2, acquired, Advanced Nutrient Solution X5. Chapter 21. Assistance from Miko. The crafting business persisted until the evening. Gazing at the mountain of resources amassed in her backpack, Jiangli felt akin to a sudden millionaire. The players who sought her services, eager to obtain their equipment swiftly, often slipped in additional scraps as tokens of gratitude beyond the standard service fee. Among these so-called scraps, stones were the most prevalent. To an ordinary player, stones were heavy, occupied valuable backpack space, and served little purpose beyond crafting rudimentary stone axes or spears, wasteful to discard, yet trivial to retain. However, for Jiangli, who urgently required materials to upgrade her walls, they were like a timely gift from heaven. Furthermore, Jiangli exchanged some iron and other readily available materials at the trading post for additional stones. With 200 stones finally acquired, Jiangli stood in the center of the camp, calling forth the camp management interface. At this moment, the wooden fence, resilient against the ravages of the wind and snow as well as the scratches from last night's ghoul, stood firm, yet it exuded little sense of security. Should defense facilities be upgraded? Upgrade target, stone wall, LV1. Cost, stone X200, steel X10. Jiangli's finger hovered over the confirmation button, hesitating to press it. Experience teaches wisdom. She recalled the previous incident when constructing the restroom, which had additional requirements. She meticulously read the minuscule instructions below. Tip. This upgrade will replace the existing wooden fence, and the wall's range will automatically adapt to the camp's level, LV3, without requiring extra materials. Defense will be significantly enhanced, equipped with basic fire resistance and impact resistance features. With a sigh of relief, Jiangli felt reassured. Though the game was somewhat stingy, it exhibited a commendable logic and infrastructure. Upgrade. As her finger descended, the stones in her backpack transformed into a fleeting glow and vanished. Immediately, the ground trembled slightly. In the astonished gaze of the elfin girl, the dilapidated wooden fence appeared to be consumed by some mystical force, giving way to sturdy stone walls that materialized from thin air. They seemed to come alive, swiftly interlocking and stacking seamlessly. Within mere seconds, a robust stone wall, towering over 2 meters, rose from the ground, encasing the entire camp securely. The most striking feature was the entrance. The previously rickety wooden door, which would sway with a gentle kick, had vanished, replaced by a heavy, solid stone gate. The door even boasted a simple observation slit and latch, instilling a sense of safety. Wow. The elfin girl, who had been by Jiangli's side, was utterly taken aback. She bounced toward the newly erected stone wall, extending her small hand to cautiously touch the rough, cold surface. Then, she dashed back to Jiangli, circling around her several times, her tail seemingly on the verge of leaving a phantom trail. Eek, Gula. She tilted her head back, gesturing with her hands to indicate the wall's height, then pointed at Jiangli, emitting a series of excited syllables, her emerald eyes sparkling like stars. Incredible. Jiangli, observing her naive and adorable demeanor, couldn't help but chuckle, her spirits lifted. Are you trying to praise me? Jiangli inquired. The girl vigorously nodded, as if intent on detaching her head. After a moment's thought, Jiangli extended her right hand, raising her thumb and waving it in front of her. Come, learn from me. She slowed her speech, pointing to the gesture, indicating that this action symbolized something excellent, something impressive. The girl blinked, extending her small hand, and somewhat